Hello Mustang fans, and welcome back for another GT500 update. Today we're going to go over all the latest news, analyze the latest spy shots, talk about horsepower, and at the end I'm going to give you a preview of what the exhaust is going to sound like, so be sure to stick around to the very end. So before we get started, I just have to say that like every other GT500 video out there, everything here is speculation. Nobody knows anything about the new GT500, but I will say that I've been doing GT500 videos before it became wildly popular, and I have a pretty good track record of sticking to what is most likely going to be true. So for example, back in March 2017, I said that the new GT500 would have a 5.2 liter supercharged cross-plane crank motor, which turned out to be true, and I was saying that at a time where it was popular to think that the new GT500 was going to come with a 7 liter naturally aspirated or a 5 liter twin turbocharged motor. So I've been, pretty accurate here in the past, so I'm going to continue with that in the future and try to only give you the most accurate GT500 information. So guys, earlier this month I got to speak with a pretty reliable source about the GT500, and I got to learn a couple of new bits of information. So first thing we talked about was when will we actually get to see the new GT500, and unfortunately these cars are not going to hit the road for quite a while. Unfortunately, right now Ford is very focused on the GT350. The GT350s are selling very well, and they want to move them off of dealer lots and continue to sell the GT350. And announcing the GT500 too soon is really just going to take away from the GT350. It's unconfirmed whether or not they're going to continue making the GT350 for 2019 alongside the new GT500, but either way, Ford is very committed to the GT350 right now and wants to at least finish out the year strong. So it's going to be quite a while until we see the GT500 on the road. Now, it would not surprise me to see the GT500 debut sometime around the New York Auto Show. That's when they debuted the 2007 model, when they came back with the new GT500. So it would not surprise me to see it debut around then, but I don't think that we're going to see this car hit the roads until at least the spring of 2019. Now, we also talked about what Ford's goals were for the GT500, and that really is going to be both a monster on the track and on the drag strip. So Ford is going to have some pretty incredible aero on the car, as we saw with that really massive spoiler they have out in the back, and the front splitter is going to be pretty aggressive as well. Earlier this year, we saw the GT500 benchmarking against the Porsche GT3, and again, while the GT500 is going to aim to be a real performer on the racetrack, it's not going to be the most nimble and agile Mustang out there. The GT350R is going to retain that title mainly because the GT500 is going to weigh significantly more due to the supercharger and all the cooling to go along with it. It should come in right around 4,000 pounds, plus or minus a little, but don't get fooled by the extra weight. This car is going to have some serious power to make up for that added weight, and it's going to be faster than the GT350 on the racetrack. Ford left us an Easter egg suggesting possibly 772 horsepower, which I think is pretty reasonable considering the Predator engine that's going to be in the GT500 is based off the 5.2 liter Aluminator motor, which has 580 horsepower and naturally aspirated trim. Factoring for about a 40% increase in power with a Roots type blower would estimate an output right around 815 horsepower for the supercharged 5.2. In reality though, it'll be less because the supercharged motor will run lower compression than the naturally aspirated motor, but with high 700 ponies under the hood, this car is going to be no joke on either the street or the track. And speaking of the Predator motor, everybody wants to hear what it sounds like. And with the similarities between the Predator and the 5.2 liter Aluminator, the two engines are going to sound really similar. I was only able to find one online video of the new 5.2 liter Aluminator's exhaust note, so I wanted to share it with you because this is essentially what the new GT500 will sound like, but of course the GT500 will have some supercharger whine. So take a listen and let me know what you think. Clutch is on the left. personally think the engine sounds incredible. It has the nice bass tone of a Coyote motor combined with some of the high-pitched wail of the Voodoo. Add in some supercharger whine, and this is going to be one of the most menacing sounding cars on the road. So with all this GT500 talk, you guys are probably wondering whether or not I'm getting one. So the answer right now is yes, I'm most likely going to be getting one. I'm looking for dealers right now that are going to give me a fair deal on a GT500. For those of you who've been following my channel for a little while, you know I wound up ordering a GT350R at sticker price, but unfortunately that deal fell through. With that deal, I was supposed to be getting the third GT350R they got in for 2018, but unfortunately that didn't happen. They didn't get through allocations, so that deal fell through. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just gives me a little bit of extra time whether I decide I want a GT350 or a GT500. Right now, I'm going to wait and see when more information comes out on the GT500. Also, I'm in the process of buying a new house right now, so it's kind of tough to buy a new house and a new car at the same time. So it's going to be a little bit before the GT500 is going to be announced, and by then I'll be in the new house, so I'll be able to get a new car, whether it's the GT350 or the GT500. So by then I'll be able to make a better decision, and we'll see what I want the most. What do you guys think? Would you rather see me get a GT350 or a GT500 on this channel? So let me know that in the comments below. And that'll do it for today, so be sure to leave your comments and predictions in the section below. Also, feel free to like the video and share it with your friends if you enjoyed. I'd really appreciate it as it helps my channel grow. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.